so I found out that a number of my viewers are actually vegetarian. This was surprising to me because most of the dishes that I've cooked, the dishes that are most culturally significant here in Hawaii, the dishes that my family has passed down through the generations, just aren't vegetarian. But I wanted to thank my viewers for their support by making something that they could enjoy too, especially since it's currently Lent and even more folks are trying to be meat-free. That's where this giant basil plant comes in. Look how big and beautiful it's grown. I had actually gotten a bag of basil from Foodland, tore off the leaves for cooking, but saved the stems and planted it. Since I have such a beautiful fresh basil, I thought I would make some of my homemade, fresh, local-style pesto. Sweet basil is the star of pesto. The fresher and the more fragrant the better. And it doesn't get any fresher than this. Now of course, you need a good pasta to carry that basil. Start with a boiling pot of water and salt it, as salty as the ocean. Then we're gonna cook up a nice bag of penne pasta. Penne is just the right shape to carry all of that wonderful sauce. Cook it about 10 minutes, or just under what the package recommends, so that they're perfectly al dente. Be sure to stir it so that they don't stick together. And of course, you have to cold shock the pasta to stop it from overcooking and getting too soft. Besides the fresh basil leaves, you want some nice fresh garlic as well. About half a bulb worth. Fresh garlic is very different than roasted or fried garlic. It's far more pungent and sharp. But that strong aroma mixed with the strong fragrance of the basil is going to make this dish so incredibly aromatic. I've seen people use food processors to make this. But there's really only one way to make true, authentic pesto, and that's with a mortar and pestle. Just a pinch of Hawaiian salt elevates the flavor, but also gives the ingredients something to grind against. You don't want to just chop everything into little bits, or even liquefy them. You want to crush everything so that all of those wonderful fragrances are released. It's kind of magical the way that just pounding and pounding these leaves turns them into a mouth-watering paste. Now, real authentic pesto requires European pine nuts. But we're on the other side of the planet, and European pine nuts are really hard to come by in Hawaii. What we do have, though, is a great abundance of macadamia nuts. If you ever go to the big island of Hawaii, you gotta stop by the Mauna Loa macadamia nut farms and see the rows and rows of macnut trees. Chocolate-covered macadamia nuts are, after all, one of our prime souvenir gifts. But mac nuts work just as well in this pesto as they do encased in chocolate. And they give this authentic pesto a uniquely Hawaii flavor. Once everything is crushed into a nice paste, all we need is some good extra virgin olive oil to turn that paste into a luscious sauce. Isn't that such a beautiful green? Now, one more thing we need to top this all off. We need some good Parmesan or Romano cheese. You definitely don't want to top this with that salty white powder that pretends it's Parmesan cheese. You want the real thing. You could buy a tub of pre-shredded stuff, but honestly, it's far more economical to buy a block and shred it yourself. Plus, just like pounding the fresh basil, freshly shredding this Parmesan releases all of its intoxicating aroma. It's so simple, isn't it? 4-5 ingredients. But if you use really fresh, high-quality ingredients, then this simple thing tastes absolutely amazing. And that's it! My fresh, homemade, local-style pesto. Wow, that flavor is so much more intense than something you would buy in a bottle in a grocery store. The aroma of those fresh ingredients, the vibrant green color, the deceptively complex flavor just hits all of your senses. Most importantly, it makes me feel connected to the Aina through that beautiful plant growing outside my window. Until next time, Joy Keen and a hui ho.